So often we read in the Canadian press about the Sikh-Hindu clashes and that the antipathy between those two groups. John George is with me right now. He knows all about that. He's a national security analyst with the Macdonald Laurier Institute. And you were just telling me it's not the Sikh completely. Explain it to me then.
Sure. So
we see these clashes. We see people fighting in Brampton and other places.
Absolutely. So this is not so much a Sikh versus Hindu problem. Because Sikhs and Hindus are fine. If you look back in India as well, both the communities live in harmony.
It doesn't look like they do here.
Yes. So the group that you're referring to actually are the Khalistanis. Now, the Khalistan movement, as you know, those are the people who were behind Canada's worst ever terrorist attack. I mean, our equivalent of 9/11, which was the 1984 Air India bombing, in which a significant number of Canadians died. And yet, somehow, the governments, various governments have felt it all right to allow this group to operate in Canada unchecked. And especially under the Trudeau government, they have been given enough oxygen to come back to life. I mean, they weren't so much under Prime Minister Harper, but lately they have, especially been revitalized after the Niger assassination.
Okay, so it's not all Sikhs. But what is it at the root of the fighting? So, is it just territorial? Is it just it's tribal hatred?
So the Khalistan movement, which again, to clarify, is being pushed and propagated by the Pakistani secret services, which is the ISI, their spy agency. So the reason being they want to create unrest in India because, as you know, the state of Punjab, they want to create a state of Punjab. A significant portion of Punjab is carved out into the state of Khalistan.
So let's put it in something that Canadians will understand, implicitly. It's a separatist movement.
Absolutely.
And so why do we have it being transported to Canada?
Because again, various governments have felt that the Khalistanis make a lot of promise. They promise them votes. So in exchange, people assume that, again, like I mentioned earlier, people assume that just because all Khalistanis are Sikhs, hence all Sikhs are Khalistanis. That's like saying because all all the terrorist groups are Muslims, so all Muslims are terrorists. That's not true.
Right.
So this false equivalency is why a lot of political parties fall prey to this narrative that, we need to give Khalistanis, the legitimacy that they deserve.
If you were the Prime Minister, and you got that Canadian, our Prime Minister won't agree with that, but you got that Canadians didn't want this to go on, I have 10 seconds. What would you do?
I would ban them outright. I mean, they are, after all, behind Canada's worst ever terrorist attack.
Yeah.
I see no reason for them to operate.
Ban them from activity or just send them back?
Yes, ban them altogether. I mean, automatically everything else would happen.
Perfect. 3 minutes. And thank you very much. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago, we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act. Once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.